Hello everyone, this is Colton with POSGuys.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the TE200/300 line of barcode label printers. The TE Series is TSC's entry-level model of thermal transfer label printer, and both the TE and 300 offer 4-inch wide thermal transfer printing. And for a 4-inch wide printer, this unit comes in at a pretty competitive price when compared to other printers on the market. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look under the hood, print out some labels, and see if it stacks up. So we'll start off with some basic specs here. There are two main models in the TE200 series. There's the TE200 and the TE300. The main difference between the two models is that the TE200 prints at 203 DPI and clocks in at 6 inches per second, while the TE300 prints at 300 DPI and prints at 5 inches per second. Both models can accept rolls of labels up to 5 inches in outer diameter with a ½ inch or an inch on the inner diameter. Both models can print gap labels, black mark sensing media, and fanfold media, as well as continuous media. So there shouldn't be any issue with using just about any label that you might have to throw at it. I have the TE200 here today, so that's the one we're going to be taking a look at. Alright, so I've zoomed you in here so we can take a quick look at the inside of the unit before we go into the print performance. I've already taken the liberty of installing the media and ribbon, but if you wanted a quick tutorial on how to do that, I've included a link to a video TSC made in the blog post on our website, and a link to that can be found in the description. So we're just going to pop off the top here. It's a clamshell design with two little clips, and you can see the internal components here. The labels are fed on the top here. I'll lift it up and show you that there. And then by pushing this little green button on here, it'll pop open the top. The labels run through here. There's a nice little cog here that you can press to bring in the media clamps there. And then of course the ribbon goes in on top here. So if you snap that back on, again, I already installed the media, so I won't show that. But what I will show you how to do is how to calibrate this printer, because that's a request that we get a lot from people wondering how to do that. I'm doing it on this in particular because it's not the most intuitive calibration process, but it's relatively straightforward compared to others on the market. So you're going to want to calibrate that, anytime you're swapping out media, ribbons, anything like that, changing size. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to turn off the unit. There's a little switch in the back here. It's on the bottom left, right next to the power cord. You're going to turn that off. You'll see that there's a little green light here that turns off. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold this power button here, or sorry, the feed button here. You're going to turn on the printer, and it's going to go from a solid green. Another thing that I wanted to highlight was how to move the printer between direct thermal and thermal transfer printing, since that's a pretty common request. And as with supply chains, people are swapping out items. There's a good chance you're going to be swapping this out for a direct thermal only printer. So in order to do that here, you're going to click this little button here, the little Windows Start key, go to the settings menu here. You're going to hit Devices, and then go over to where you're going to see the TE200. If you don't see this, that means that your printer isn't installed right. You're going to left click on that, go to Manage, hit Printing Preferences, go over here to where it says Stock rather, and then under this Method tab here, you're going to see this little drop down. Now right now it's set to use the current printer setting, but you can direct it to either do direct thermal or thermal transfer just by hitting that. And then hit Apply, press OK, and you're good to go. So again, it's a pretty straightforward process. Now that I've gone over that, I just wanted to give a couple quick comments on my impression of the unit overall. Compared to some of its competitors on the market, I feel like the TE200 has a slightly less premium build quality. It just feels like it's a little less rugged and sturdy overall. I see more plastic parts here, while with some other products, they use a little more of a premium material, and it just feels a little more stable. That is certainly reflected in the cost of the printer. Like I said, it's priced pretty competitively, and the thing too is that I don't feel like the build quality negatively impacts the actual printing performance. We'll get into it a little bit, but I think the printer prints relatively well. It's pretty in line with other things that are kind of in its class. It does boast a 2-year manufacturer warranty and a print head life of 1,000,000 inches or 12 months, whatever comes first. And that's pretty in line with what others are offering, so there's some peace of mind there. All right, so now we're gonna jump into the printing here. Right now I have this loaded with some 2x1 thermal transfer labels, and I have a test label ready to print here on Seagull Bartender. I wanna note that the printer itself is gonna ship with a version of Seagull that'll only work with TSC printers. So, you know, if you're just looking for something really quick to get you going, that's a pretty big convenience. So right now, like I said, I have a little loaded tested here, a little barcode and a drawing. Just gonna hit down to hit that and print. Hit print there. You should see that pop out there. A nice cutter bar, relatively simple. I'm gonna do a comparison here. I'm pulling this up on the screen. I think that the lines on this are pretty crisp and show up well, especially for a 203 DPI printer. I've compared this label here with one that I've printed with a ZD420 using the same labels and ribbon. As you can see, it's pretty identical, so I'd say it passes the print test for sure. So pretty good value for your money overall. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is printer compatibility. You know, supply chains are all over the place right now, and so people are looking for a printer that can kind of move in and replace and be an alternative for lots of different things. And this printer definitely meets the bill. It comes loaded with TSC PL EZD printer language, but it can also emulate EPL, ZPL, and DPL printer languages. Basically, what that means is that the printer should be supported by any label printing software that would support a Zebra printer. I know those have been really hard to find lately, so that makes this model a pretty convenient alternative if you're having a hard time getting a hold of a Zebra printer. And with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. Again, that has been a review of the TSC TE 200/300. Again, I think it's a super affordable printer. It's definitely getting good value for your money, and maybe even a little bit more than that. Relatively easy to use and set up, decent build quality overall, and definitely you wouldn't be amiss with going with this particular product. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you wanted to learn more, you can go to the blog post that's linked in the description below. And if you had any questions or wanted to get yourself one of these, feel free to call our sales engineering team. They can be reached at the number on the screen now. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great day.